Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Tim Dueppen, and I'm the principal trombonist in the Symphony of Southeast Texas. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about what the trombone is. All right, for those of you who don't know, the trombone is this instrument right here. So the trombone is made of metal, and there's a lot of different types of metal that the trombone can be made out of, which affects the way that its sound or its timbre really is in the orchestra or in any other group that you would play in. So this trombone is made out of brass, okay? The majority of it is made out of brass, and it has something called a slide. So the way on trombone that you make notes change is by actually moving the slide up and down. So I'll demonstrate here. In order to actually get different pitches, you move the slide. Which is pretty cool, right? So that's kind of how we actually make different notes. A lot of instruments have valves and fingerings and all these kind of different things, but we actually make our different notes by using the slide. And like I said, there's a lot of different types of metal that the trombones can be made out of. Right here, I have a trombone that has silver on it. And the silver makes the sound a little bit brighter. So the sound of a silver-plated trombone sound a little bit more brilliant. Which makes it really good for lots of different types of playing, like pops playing, jazz, a lot of different types of things like that. So the trombone's metal, and you can see I have a lot of different types of trombones here, which I'll demonstrate here in a little bit, but the type of metal changes the sound or the timbre. Now, before we get into even more of that, I kind of want to let you know the ins and outs of how sound is made on a trombone. So like all brass instruments, we have something called a mouthpiece. Well, what does this thing do? Well, I'm pretty sure it enhances the sound, right? No, actually what it does is it starts the whole thing. So it allows the sound to really take place within the instrument itself. So the sound on a trombone starts with what's called a buzz. So when you breathe in really big and full, your lips come together and create a little buzzing sound. Something that would be similar as to if you had a saxophone or a clarinet mouthpiece and you just were playing it on with the reed. So what we do here is we breathe in really big, create a buzz with our lips, and then that buzz gets amplified within the mouthpiece, which is a receiver. So what it sounds like is this. Pretty cool, right? So then the next step for making sound on the trombone is to add that into the actual instrument itself. So you're going to add the buzz from the lips with a big breath in, the buzz from the lips, change to the mouthpiece, and then into the actual trombone. So I'll demonstrate. You start with the buzz. Pretty cool. So all the instrument is actually doing is enhancing that buzz that happens. And then you get really big, full sounds. And you can get that all by having that buzz happen and take place within the instrument. And like I said, all the notes get changed on the trombone with the slide. And there's lots of different types of trombones. So this is called a tenor trombone. A bass trombone has another attachment, which happens right here, and that allows you to play even more notes, further notes, lower notes, and so the trombone is really kind of part of this whole family of instruments. You have a bass trombone, which is like the big bass on the bottom that plays all the low notes. You have the tenor trombone, which plays the medium range notes, and then you have something else that's really cool that's called the alto trombone. Look at this little baby trombone. So it all works the same way as on the tenor trombone, but it's a little bit higher. So you get an even brighter sound. Pretty cool, right? So in an orchestra, you're going to have lots of these different types of instruments for different effects. So the alto trombone is used in a lot of different types of solos and orchestral pieces in order to give a little bit more brilliant color to the orchestral trombone section. All right. So then you have the alto, the tenor, the bass, and that creates the section of the trombone section itself. We have a couple other ones that I'll show you, and this is pretty cool for pops playing. So a lot of times in an orchestra, we don't just play classical music, we play lots of different types of music, pop, rock, all that kind of stuff. And so you need different instruments in order to make that happen. Like I said, this is a silver-plated trombone, and what it does is it allows for a little bit more brilliant color. So a lot of times you'll have a solo that you'll have to play in a jazz piece, and so you'll use something like this. And it creates this really brilliant, really bright sound that's really great for orchestral jazz music. So that's the trombone section. Trombone is made of metal, and it uses the buzz in order to create sound with big, full air. And I hope that you enjoyed this little presentation on the trombone. My name is Dr. Tim Dueppen, and I am Principal Trombonist in the Symphony of Southeast Texas.